Okay. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Saul. Thank you, Madeline, for letting me know. I'm really sorry, guys. I was having some troubles to activate my microphone, but it's time to start, okay? And I'm really glad to start a new class. Well, almost our last classes, guys. Remember that tomorrow we finish with this level. It means, everybody, that today we will finish with our last topic. And then tomorrow we will have, well, we will have, everybody, our speaking presentations. Remember that the second unit of this level, it's about presentations. That's why the purpose is that you create some presentations, and of course you present in front of your classmates. It can be, guys, with cameras on or cameras off. It's up to you, but please try to follow the information that we have already spoken about. Okay. Well, let me ask you guys, are you ready for those presentations or no yet?
No yet.
No
I don't
yet.
understand.
You don't understand. What don't you understand, Saul?
I don't know. Maybe the presentation. I don't know. What presentation?
Okay. Let me tell you that the presentation is about any topic you want to speak about, okay? Remember that you are up to decide what's your presentation about. So you decide the topic. If you want to speak about, I don't know, if you want to speak about music, let's do it about music. If you want to speak about video games, do it about video games, okay? The point is to use Okay, the point is to use the information that we have spoken about or that we have studied during our classes. Since August 7th, we have been practicing about how to make a presentation. If you haven't come to the classes, guys, you can go to the YouTube channel and look for our videos about the class, okay? The only video that it's missing, guys, I don't remember, guys, if we have a video on July 28th. I don't know if I upload that video or not. And also it's missing yesterday's video because I have some troubles to upload the videos today. But for tomorrow, guys, they will be completed on the WhatsApp on the YouTube channel. Before we start the class, guys, let me share with you. Give me a second. Let me share with you some presentations that you asked me for. Okay, you asked me for some classes, and I will share them with you on the WhatsApp group right now, because if I don't do it right now, I will forget it, okay? So we have phrases for signaling, the parts of our presentation, ways to engage, also how to design the great visual aids. And yesterday we learned about effective ways to close a presentation. There you go, everybody. So you have the 4 presentations. Well,
Sorry?
yes, the 4 presentations are on the WhatsApp group. They are right now, they are loading, but you will have the presentations in a moment for you to check the presentations again, and also to create your own presentation. Remember, you need to create visual aids. You can use PowerPoint, you can use Canva, you can use Powtoon, any of those apps or websites that you can use to create presentations, okay? The point is that you create a presentation, use phrases that we learned, and also that you avoid doing something that is unnecessary on your presentation or something that is not appropriate on your presentation. And today's class, everybody, it's about that, okay? Today we will talk about good things to do and things you don't have to do on your presentation. The topic for today, guys, is mastering the art of oral presentations. Let me share my screen with you, and then we can start. Okay, there you go. As you can see, guys, all of our classes has been about how to make oral presentations. And that's today's point, everybody, to master some points that we already talked about and some others that we mentioned, but maybe we can forget, okay? We may forget, okay? That's the point, that you make a review of what we have learned, and also that you learned or check everybody things that we have and we don't have to do. Okay, to start with this part, everybody, let me introduce the first thing you have to do, and it is plan your presentation. Okay, to start with this part, I want to listen to Marcela. Marcela, can you help me reading the information about planning your presentation?
Okay, teacher. Do plan your presentation. To effectively plan your presentation, start by identifying your main message and key points. Consider your audience and tailor your message to their needs and interests. Develop a clear structure for your presentation, including an introduction, main body, and conclusion. Finally, practice delivering your presentation to ensure that it flows smoothly and meets the time limit. Use mind maps or flow charts for organizing your thoughts and visualizing
The structure? Okay, the structure of your presentation. Well, guys, I know this is kind of long, but it has some important parts that we need to take into account when you plan your presentation. Remember that making a presentation won't take you 10 seconds or 30 seconds. It needs some time for you to think about your ideas, to organize, as it says, to organize your ideas, to identify, to define what is the objective of your presentation. So you need to think about many things that are important before making your presentation at the beginning. So you need to create the main idea. You need to think about the subtopics that you are going to present. What is the first one, the second one, the third one? And if you can relate one in the others, it will be great. So it will help you a lot. Another thing I want to emphasize, or I want to remark everybody, it's that same as when you have same as when you have an essay, when you write an essay. In an essay, guys, we need to create an introduction, the main body, and also the conclusion. It's the same when we have a presentation. We need to create an introduction of the topic. In some cases, guys, the introduction shouldn't shouldn't be that long. It just needs to introduce the topic, of course, and also to speak about the objective of your presentation. In the main body, you work on the topics you want to present, or the points you want to introduce or you want to mention. And then in the conclusion, guys, so you close your idea, you summarize, and then you close your idea. And at the end, it's good for you to close saying thank you. Okay, to close the whole idea saying thank you. Another important thing, everybody, is to respect the time limit. Okay, I already told you about that, and it's to respect the time limit. Okay, don't worry, Marcela. Thank you for telling me. So in this opportunity, guys, in tomorrow's class, you will have 4 minutes to make your presentation. It should be longer? No. It should be less time than the 4 minutes? Yes, but try to speak around 3 and 45 seconds or 3 and 50, okay? Not less than that, because I would like to listen many things that we have learned in our class. The last thing I want to tell you about planning your presentation, guys, is what I told you when we talk about making your visual aids, and it's use, give me a second, use the right material that is necessary on your presentation. Why, everybody? Because in some cases we use information, or we select the information and we put it on our presentation in a way that it's not appropriate. I ask you guys to please complete this information, guys. Do this information, or take into account the information and different materials that you can also use. Text, it's important, of course. It can help the audience, or it can help you to remember the main points you want to speak about. You can also use mind maps. You can use, as it says, flow charts. You can use graphs. So all that information is important. So try to use it, guys, and choose the right materials. Then, guys, the next thing, well, in this case, it's something you don't have to do, okay? Well, I want to listen to Juan in this opportunity. Can you help me reading, Juan?
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Don't read from your slides, right? In some cases, reading your slides show that you are unprepared, but it also disengage your audience. Instead, you use your slide as a visual aid to I don't know what the correct
Enhance.
Enhance your message, not as a script to read from. To avoid reading from your slide, practice your presentation beforehand and familiarize yourself with the content. Also use short phrases on your slide to keep your own track.
Thank you, Juan, for reading. As you see, well, I told you guys, reading from your slide and pass to the next slide, everybody, it's something that we never have to do. In some cases, it's good for you to read from your presentation, but also, guys, give an explanation about what you read, okay? If you just read, as it says, you show that you are not prepared for that presentation. And remember, something we have to do is to plan it. We have to plan our presentation, organize each part of our presentation, and also, guys, practice our presentation before. This is something we will check in a moment, but I wanted to mention it. And it's that you have to practice your presentation before the real one. In that case, everybody, so you will have, well, I will explain that in a moment, but please, guys, try to practice your presentation. It's good for you to write the information, some information, or as it says, short phrases. It is good for you guys to use your presentation to write short phrases, to use some images, but also, guys, it is necessary for you to, okay, manage your time, speak correctly, and present as it should be, okay? Not just go and read what you have on your presentation, and then you pass to the next slide, and you continue reading and pass to the next slide. As I told you guys, that's not a presentation. That's a social reading. Why? Because you are guiding people to read something that is on the screen. It's okay if you read it and you explain that part. But if you just read, that won't help you too much, okay? So try, everybody, to use your presentation not as your script, but as your visual aid, okay? That's something we have to remember, and also we need to avoid, okay? Don't read your slides. Let's continue, guys, and pass to the next thing we have to do. Can you help me reading this part, Madeline?
Yes. 2. Practice your delivery. It helps you become more comfortable with the material and improves your pacing and timing. To effectively practice your delivery, start by rehearsing in front of a mirror or recording yourself. Practice speaking slowly and clearly, and pay attention to your body language and tone of voice. You can also try presenting to a small group of friends or colleagues for feedback and constructive criticism.
Okay, thank you, Madeline, for reading. These are also some good tips or some good information we need to take into account. As it says, everybody, practice your delivery, okay? Try, everybody, to practice what you, okay, what you have already created, okay? Well, look at this. Some important things we need to take, or we need to respect, everybody. It's the pacing and timing. Sorry, the passing and timing. What is the passing, guys? It's the way you speak, okay? If you're speaking very slow or you're speaking too fast, okay? That's the pacing. So imagine, guys, you are presenting and you speak really fast. So at the moment, guys, people won't understand what you are saying, okay? Even though you have prepared a great presentation and you practiced before your presentation, at the end, everybody, if you speak too fast, they won't understand your idea. So you will disengage with your audience. And also, guys, as I said before, the timing. Timing is really important, guys. But that's why I told you the time you have. Because if you have just 4 minutes, you need to get ready to speak 4 minutes, or the less, 3 minutes and 45 seconds, okay? But that's why you will look for the right information, guys. You will practice and you will take your time. Use your cell phone to take your time when you are practicing. Why? Because in that way, everybody, you will already know how long your presentation will be. And you won't be here inventing something or digressing. So instead of doing that, guys, get ready with your presentation. Speak, as it says, clearly, slowly, just in case you speak very fast, but clearly. Pronounce every word as it should be, okay? Pronounce every word correctly for people to understand what you are saying. And also to pronounce all the words completely, okay? In some cases, guys, happen that we pronounce some words, but we forget or we don't make our effort to pronounce the final sounds. That's why, everybody, when we say a word, we can make people get confused because of our pronunciation. I have heard people saying, my name is. My name is, no, right? That's not correct. In that case, we have to say, my name is, okay? But this is something, guys, that we can take into account when we are presenting, when we speak English, and when we practice, okay? I'm really glad, guys, that in this group, all of you pronounce or make your effort, you really put your effort, everybody, to pronounce correctly the words. Maybe there are some words that we don't know the pronunciation, but we try, okay? And that's something that can help you a lot, everybody. Some tips that we have to take into account that are over here. First of all, practice in front of a mirror or record yourself. Let me tell you guys, part of my experience making some evaluations, some speaking evaluations when I was at university, when I was practicing, when I was learning English and also French at university. Because of the pandemic, I had to make some speaking evaluations on a recording a video. And many times, guys, at least in English, in some cases, it was kind of easy for me. But when I was learning French, it was more difficult. I needed to write anything I wanted to say. Then I needed to record my voice on my cell phone. And then I was listening to my audio once, twice, 3 times, 4. In some cases, I think I listened to my audio like 7 times. And then I started repeating what I was thinking about saying on the video. At the end, I took 1 or 2 hours to record the video. It was difficult. Let me tell you that it was difficult. Let me confess that it was really difficult. But it helped me. At the end, everybody, it helped me to feel, first of all, to be more comfortable, to respect the passing and also the timing, okay? To respect both things, okay? And then, everybody, another tip that we have, in case you have someone you can practice with, is to present or to make your presentation in front of a small group of friends or colleagues, okay? If you have someone that speaks English and can help you to tell you or to give him or give her his or her opinion, it can be really helpful, okay? If you don't have anyone that can speak English, well, try the other tips in front of a mirror or record yourself. Or something that can help you avoid nervousness, it's to speak or to present to someone who doesn't speak English, okay? Why? Just because having someone in front of you can help you remember that you know the whole information about your presentation. The other person or the other people doesn't know anything about that. They don't know about your presentation, so you have the whole information, and this is something, guys, you got ready for, okay? So try to take these tips into account, everybody, to create a great presentation and also to give a great delivery of it, okay? Let's move on, everybody. Remember that we are learning or we are checking things we have to do and things we don't have to do. What I would recommend you guys, it's related to this point, and it's don't speak too quickly, okay? Let's see. Saul, can you read this part?
Don't speak too quickly. Speak too quickly during the presentation can make it difficult for your audience to follow along and understand the point you are trying to make. To avoid speaking too quickly, try to practice your delivery at slower pace. Take deep breaths before you begin speaking and focus on enunciating each word clearly.
Very good. At the end, everybody, this thing we don't have to do is related, and it's similar to the last one, the last thing we had to do, okay? In this case, guys, it reminds us that we don't have to speak too quickly, okay? Because at the end, if you speak too quickly, people won't understand what you are saying. They won't understand the main point of your presentation, because you speak that quickly that the message was not clear. Okay, that's why at the end the tips that we have to avoid this are similar to the things we need to take into account to deliver a good presentation. First of all, practice your delivery, and that's it. Okay, practice your delivery at a slower pace. Then take deep breath before you begin speaking. Okay, another thing that can help you guys is in the middle of your presentations, try to make some pauses. Okay, don't speak that fast, that quickly, and don't speak that slow. Okay, try to speak in a good pace and make some pauses during your presentation. Don't make those pauses too short and not too long. Try to consider what's the right or how long your pause can be, to avoid making people think that the nervousness you have is affecting you during the presentation, or that you are worried about that presentation that you need to finish as soon as possible. Okay, try to avoid that, guys, and take deep breath, make some pauses during your presentation. It will help you guys to know what is the right pace you need to do, or you need to use during your presentation, and also the right pronunciation of the words. Okay, I will move to the next slide because it was kind of repetitive with the last one. And the next one, everybody, it's something we already talked about. Let me see what was the presentation. Well, guys, please let me know if you already have the presentations on the WhatsApp group. If you check over there, guys, in our class 12, the topic of our presentation was ways to engage your audience. Okay, there are important things we need to do to engage our audience, and this is something important, guys, because when you engage your audience, first of all, you have their attention. Okay, it doesn't matter the topic, but if you engage your audience, you will have the opportunity, guys, to have their attention during 3, 4, or 30 minutes. It doesn't matter, but you will get it if you engage with your audience. Also, guys, they will be focused on what you are saying, and they also will respect what you are saying. Let's see this part. In this opportunity, I'm gonna read it. It says, everybody, engaging with your audience is crucial for a successful presentation. It helps you establish a connection with them and keep their attention focused on your message. To engage with your audience ask questions. This encourages participation and creates a dialogue between you and your listeners. Another way is to use anecdotes or personal stories that relate to your topic. These two tips that we have over here, guys, are very important, and they are very useful at the moment of creating a presentation and also making a presentation in front of a lot of people. In this case, guys, questions are very important. Questions are fundamental in your presentation. In this case, these kind of questions are not just related to, do you have any question? Your questions, or all of your questions, can't be different. They can have a different point, not just asking if you have questions or not. Maybe you can ask questions. Remember, there are rhetorical questions. We have rhetorical questions that we can ask during our presentation. Also, we can ask, we can make them participate by making an experiment or doing an experiment during the presentation. And it can make them participate and engage with your presentation, engage with you. Another important thing is, as it says, personal stories. Sometimes personal stories can help you or can make people understand the point of your presentation. Maybe your topic can be about video games, can be about culture. And if you mention something related about that, people will understand what you try to say, okay? They will understand your point and they will support your ideas. If you're presenting in a small group, maybe one of them can interrupt you and can tell you, oh yes, that reminds me a time when I did this. Maybe you talked about something that happened to you, and maybe that situation will make people empathize with your story and with your situation in that moment. Okay, so it can help you a lot. Remember, try to engage with them as much as possible during your presentation, and in that way, as it says, you will establish a connection with all of them. Okay, let's move everybody to some other things we don't have to do. Okay, I think this is the last thing we don't have to do. And I want to listen to Juan reading this part about use too much jargon.
Hello, don't use too much jargon. To avoid using too much jargon, try to simplify your language and use relatable examples. Consider your audience level of knowledge on the topic and adjust accordingly. Remember, the goal of your presentation is to effectively communicate your message to your audience, not to express them with technical terms.
Okay, thank you. This is something important, guys, but before we continue, I want to ask you, what is the meaning of jargon, guys? Okay, a synonym of jargon, everybody, are technical terms, okay? All that technical vocabulary that can make us look like we are very polite and something like that. That kind of vocabulary, guys, can help us to, well, instead of helping us, it can affect our presentation. Remember, in some cases, you don't have the opportunity to speak to people that knows a lot about vocabulary. In this case, remember, in Spanish, we have that problem, even though we are native Spanish speakers. But there are some words that we don't know, or we don't know the meaning of some words. And if we listen to someone using those words, we get confused and we think, what does he mean, or what does she mean? Well, that's the same situation in English. It is possible, guys, that there are some basic words that someone doesn't know. It's possible, guys. It's possible. But if we start using technical terms, or as it says, jargon, it will be even harder for people to understand our message. Okay, so try to consider, as it says, your audience levels of knowledge, okay? And try to be as simple as possible. With that, everybody, I'm not saying that you don't have to use vocabulary related to your topic, because in some cases, vocabulary is difficult. Imagine you are talking about dinosaurs because you really like dinosaurs. So then everybody, you need to use some vocabulary that it's difficult, some vocabulary that is not common. If you start talking about, for example, video games, and you are talking about shooter video games, you know that there are some vocabulary that is not common, and it's important for people to understand your topic or for you to share the main idea of your topic. In those cases, of course, we need to use some technical vocabulary or some vocabulary related to the topic we are presenting. But if it is not necessary, guys, avoid using those terms, okay? Try to use simple vocabulary that everyone can understand. And if they have any questions, so at the end, it helps you a lot, everybody, to clarify the meaning or the context you are using that word. Okay? We are almost finishing, guys. I just want to share the last thing we have to do in our presentation. And again, this is kind of a review because in class, let me think, in class 13, we spoke about things we need to take into account when we create or when we designed our presentation. And we say, everybody, well, before we continue, I will stop by all the paragraph. The first one says, everybody, use images, charts, and graphs that can help you communicate complex ideas more clearly and make your presentation more memorable. Okay? Use all that material that is important and that it's necessary in your presentation. And remember that if it can help you guys, use it, okay? But don't use unnecessary things or unnecessary materials that won't help you to make the people understand your presentation and won't help you deliver a better presentation than it was or it could be, okay? Let's see. Next paragraph is going to be for Marilyn.
When using visuals, it's important to keep a few things in mind. First, choose visuals that are relevant to your topic and add values to your presentation.
Very good. As I said, don't use unnecessary things or just because the presentation looks more beautiful with this rabbit or with this, I don't know, with this sticker, I will put it. If it is not necessary, guys, if it doesn't fit on your presentation, don't use it, okay? At the end, it will affect you more than help you. Let's see, next, well, the next part is going to be for Saul. Tell me, what is the second tip, Saul?
When using visual, it's important to keep a few things in mind. First, choose visuals that are relevant.
The third paragraph, the second tip.
Yeah. Okay, second, make sure your visuals are easy to read and understand. Use clear fonts and colors that contrast well with the background. Finally,
Oh, stop there.
practice your
sorry, stop there. Just that paragraph, okay, not the full. Okay. As you can see here, and we already spoke about that, it's try to avoid using fonts or colors that are not appropriate. I'm sorry. For example, guys, I gave you some examples when we were practicing, and a tip I gave you, and it's something that maybe you already know, is if you have a light background, then everybody use dark fonts. And if you have a dark background, use light fonts. Okay, for example, guys, if you have white, if you have like a very clear or very light color on your background, try to use, everybody, maybe a dark blue or brown or black or any other color that it's dark. Okay, try to use those colors on your fonts, on your letters. Okay, but if your presentation it's in the other way around, dark background, for example, your background is black, so you won't use a black font, of course. We will need to use a white font, a yellow font, maybe a pink font, depending on the purpose or the materials that you are using, okay? But we will need to use a different font or something different. Try to respect this, everybody. Contrast well with the background. Contrast well your whole presentation. In some cases, guys, even the pictures we use can affect the visuals, okay? So they can help us. They can't help us if at the end, everybody, they are not related or if they are not easy to read during our presentation. Let's read the last one. Marcela, can you help me reading the last paragraph?
Yes, teacher. Finally, practice your presentation with your visual ahead of time to ensure they flow smoothly and add to your message.
Very good. Remember, guys, visuals are part of your presentation. This is not something extra. This is something that you really need to use because it is part of your speech. It is part of your presentation. So try to create your presentation, design your visuals, everybody, and practice with them. Remember at the beginning, I told you, practice in front of a mirror, record your voice while presenting, or present to someone that it's part of your group of friends. But it's also, guys, it's important that we practice with our visuals. You know, everybody, sometimes we need to check everything on the computer we are going to use. We need to check if everything works. So there are many things we have to do, everybody. Check your equipment and check also the time it will take you to present and also use your visuals. Sometimes, guys, we have someone, when we have a on-site presentation, when you are in the place having a presentation or making a presentation, guys, you don't have the opportunity to be in control of some things because sometimes they have someone in charge of passing your slides. So that person will be passing your slides. You need to take that into account. And if you are going to be passing your slides, also, you need to practice that part. How long it will take you to be passing the slides and explaining each slide. So at the end, we need to practice all those things. And they at the end, they will help us to speak clearly in a great pace and also to give or deliver a nice presentation. Okay? These are some things we have to take into account. I told you at the beginning, guys, it was a review because this is something you already know. And I truly believe, guys, that you already know all of those things. All these things I told you guys was some information you already knew it. Okay? So just please, guys, get ready for tomorrow. Create your presentation. as better as possible. If you need some help, everybody, with some ideas or something, please tell me on the WhatsApp group, and I'll be happy to help you with that. Also, guys, try to come ready. I don't know if you know how to share your screen on Zoom. Let me ask you that, everybody. Do you know how to share your screen in Zoom? Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Do you know how to share your screen in Zoom?
No, I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, guys, look for a tutorial. Yes, that's something that can help you a lot, guys, because I don't know if you will understand what I will tell you. On the toolbar that you have on your computer or cell phone, guys, well, on your computer, I know that the toolbar is below our cameras or our screens. So then, everybody, on that toolbar, you will find the microphone to turn on and turn off your microphone, of course, the camera to activate your camera or to turn off your camera. Then you will find some tags or some areas. For example, you can see the participant, you can see the chat. Also, guys, you have a button that says share screen or compartir pantalla in Spanish. Okay, I'm really sorry, guys. I
Teacher,
have it in English. Yes, Juan?
I have a problem. I don't have a camera. And
Oh,
and my cell phone camera, it doesn't work
okay.
because it's broken. My baby throw it, and you know,
Yeah, I got it.
so in the computer, yes, but I don't have a camera.
Okay, don't
So
worry.
what?
In that case, guys, I told you, if you want to activate your camera or not, it's up to you.
Okay,
But it's up to you, yes. But I would like you could do it. But if you can't, everybody, no worries. Okay, we will do it like that. Just please try to share your screen. Look for a tutorial in Zoom, sorry, on YouTube. Look for a video about how to share your screen in Zoom, okay? Because it will help us to take advantage of time tomorrow and make our presentations as they should be, okay? Another option, well, that should be our option for tomorrow, guys. If not, let's think about a plan B. Okay, remember, always have a backup plan. And guys, as I could see on the WhatsApp group, we are about to finish with all the activities. But I will ask everybody if you haven't taken the exam, everybody, the final exam about units 1 to 5. We can take it over here. If you already took the exam, great. Okay, I hope you had a great result. But if you haven't taken the exam, everybody, we can take it during our class. And if you have doubts, I can answer your questions. Okay, I can answer your questions. But it depends on you. If you want to do it before classes, it's great. If you want to do it during the class, it's okay. And if you want to do it after classes, it's nice. But please remember the due date to finish with all the activities on the platform. It's on Friday. It's this Friday at 8 a.m. because that time INSAFORP is going to check, and they will take that into account to continue with the progress or the help they give you to learn English. Okay, so please take that into account, everybody, and try to do your best for tomorrow's presentation. Do you have any question before we go?
Teacher, and I can find in yesterday's class.
Yes, I told you that I had some troubles to upload the video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, but I will do it tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning you will be able to watch all our classes, okay?
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question, guys? Well, if you don't have any other question, guys, it was a pleasure to help you with these topics. It was our last class. I mean, our last content. Tomorrow we just have speaking practices. So I hope to see great presentations, guys, using phrases, also using visual aids, and with a great attitude. Guys, it was great to have you here. I hope to see you tomorrow, and I hope also you have a good night. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.